Yeah, so I promised. Oh, again, top of the morning, people. Thank you guys for joining us. This is the Morning Mentions. My name is One Cosmo Few Hi Who, and I'm joined alongside my co-host and producer, Danae. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm not a singer. And you know who also isn't a singer? I Show Speed. But that did not stop him from singing, making his debut, singing at the FIFA World Cup.
Man.
That was the only good thing about the halftime show, right? I'm proud of that little youth. I'm proud. And again, he shows that it doesn't really matter how you start. It matters where you're going, right? And how you see yourself. Cause it really wasn't too long ago. He was barking and doing all sorts of embarrassing stuff. Well, opening ceremony rather. My apologies. He performed at the opening ceremony. That's still major, massive, and important. Now, on to badmanning the halftime show. Why is there a halftime show at a FIFA World Cup?
Trying to make it the Super Bowl.
Why was Justin Bieber singing at the FIFA World Cup halftime?
Like Justin.
And as somebody said in my comment section, Mayan, I like some of the Tom Cruise movies, you know? I like them. Mission Impossible, I mean, he's a great actor. Why is he delivering a motivational speech at the World Cup? Every 2 seconds, we saw a picture of some random celebrity. And to show you how the rest of the world don't know what's going on. A BBC commentator said, "Oh, that looks like A$AP Rocky in the crowd."
You lie.
It was Pharrell. It was Pharrell Williams. It was not A$AP Rocky. But that just shows how the rest of the world don't know and don't care. You see, when you like, America is the most propagandized and controlled set of people in the entire world. Not even slavery have shackles like this. The shackles that are over the minds of the American people, oh my God. Do you know that celebrities are people? You know them go to the bathroom and them look at something there? You know them live and dead, right? It was just so embarrassing, so shameful, so disgusting. Can you take them? Can we just focus on the football? Can we focus on the circus for one moment? I mean, it was peak bird and circus. I've never felt like what was that? You know, the only thing I was happy to see is Shakira. And how has Shakira looked the same my entire life?
Yes.
Shakira, from me at 8 years old when I first woke up on Shakira, she look the same. I mean, at 28. How is that possible? Wow, what a beautiful woman. But, aside from Shakira and her timeless beauty, what did I do, brother? I hated it. Now, what was your perspective? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
I mean, so the opening ceremony of the games, right? I believe the first game was held in Mexico, no? Right? And so, you know, you had their bands and everybody was celebrating and it was all Mexican themed. And so with the closing ceremony being in the United States, I mean, let them do whatever them feel is most United States. I don't know. I don't really care that much about it. I only cared about Shakira's performance, to be honest with you. I don't know what I Show Speed was doing at all. So there was that. I don't really have much of an opinion aside from, you know, an opinion on Shakira's performance, which I thought was amazing as per usual.
Yeah, they need to take that stuff out of football. That's it's not football.
How Jamaicans have this thing for ask, oh, that drop in. How did Tom Cruise?
Just
make them do them thing if
and then Trump refusing to walk off the stage while and the Spanish players waiting for the dog to walk off the stage to the point where them realize they now come off the stage and them just have to hoist the trophy anyways.
Trump loves a moment, you know, loves to be the star.
What a horrible
individual,
horrible country. And it's not just that individual because he represents them. They voted for him twice. In fact, they voted for him 3 different times. People voted for him. I mean, God, that was terrible.
Oh gosh, what did he sing? What did I Show Speed sing? Because, oh my God, I'm seeing the dance. I'm seeing his dance moves here. Weird. But you know what else I saw over the weekend? Claus, and I told you about it before. But I'm just seeing the title of the article, and I must say, Jamaican writers or journalists, you guys are something else entirely. So I see this article that says pastor confessed to being gay, right? And then beside it is fisher of men. Why you guys like this? Why you guys like this? And let me ask you a question, Claus. As it pertains to, persons and their desires, do you think you can go from being gay as a man and then, not being gay anymore, as we saw with Buju's son?
Well, I don't think he said he was gay. I think Buju's son said he was almost. Yeah, he did say almost.
Almost.
He said the demons them nearly get him.
Okay.
But then he remembered his dad and his timeless music, and he thought, yeah, no. So, hey, you know what? It's 2026, and I will lose whatever position of influence I have if I go against the public consensus opinion. So, you know what? I'm going to say it's 2026, and I'm going to say we're stronger together. And I'm going to say that my stated purpose and goal is to make unity key. Now, you don't make unity with your friends, right? You don't make peace with your friends. You make peace with your enemies. So I'm here to extend the olive branch. And for those who may not walk a straight line, for those who, want to go in the river and the bank at the same time and muddy up the bank and dirty up the river, guess what? You're free to do that. It's 2026, and I am not going to sit here and discriminate. Because the truth is, we're all Ja people, whether you like to play in the folly ground or not. I'm not going to sit here and use my platform to discredit you, to hurt your feelings, to make you feel less of a human. I'm not going to dehumanize you for your decisions. We're not perfect and we all make mistakes, right? So I'm not commenting on it any further.
I see. But I mean, it's interesting to see the church's take on it in this article here in the Star. And what I will say is that I've noticed a serious difference as it pertains to, the church and how it is that they're viewing persons now. Back in the day, them used to run people of a certain ilk, but now, they're more accepting. And I think that is the most biblical and Christian thing that you can do. I'm pretty sure the Bible does say, come as you are. And we're finally seeing that in the church, them being a little bit more accepting and, working on people when they're in the church, as opposed to telling them, don't come here, so with whatever, your preference may be.
Yeah, because our church leaders, they're not perfect.
At all.
They advocated for the law to maintain marital rape. They advocated, several church groups advocated for several years until 2021 when it was finally changed. So they're not perfect. In fact, what's the church known for doing to little boys and little girls? Very consistently throughout all different denominations and all different countries for a very, 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 very long time. They're known for molesting and raping people's children. So, this holier than thou take, it's not it. You should be more accepting, because you guys are very accepting of those who have sinned, right? So you should be more accepting of those who sin and live in sin. You guys aren't perfect.
All right. I was going to read a little piece of this book. Boy, controversial body now.
No, well,
Bad,
you
bad,
know what
bad.
you know one thing I really hate?
What?
That makes me almost insanely angry.
What's
when
that?
somebody says, oh, this is so controversial, and they talk about something and then don't talk about it.
know, but I said
That
where it
makes
was.
me want to fling my phone into the wall. No, if you're gonna mention it,
Fling
talk about
yourself
it.
in at the wall because really and truly,
Please read
fling
it.
yourself.
Please read it. Talk about
But
it.
yes, guys, if
Don't
you want to
mention it
see
and then
this
don't talk
article,
about it.
it's in the Star, right? It's called "Fisher of Men." Pastor confessed to being gay, printed July 17 there. So, what I will read from it was that he fasted, he cried, he questioned himself. He wondered whether his desire for men meant that he failed God or whether his calling to ministry was somehow incompatible with who he was. He says, I prayed to God to change me because that's what I had been taught. I genuinely believed that if I was faithful enough, my attraction to men would disappear, he recalled. But after years of wrestling with his faith, scripture, and identity, the pastor concluded that his calling to serve God and his sexuality could coexist. He said, I grew up in a church. My earliest moments are of Sunday school, choir rehearsal, and youth conventions. Ministry was something that kept finding me. People would come to me for prayer or guidance long before I had a title. Over time, I felt God was calling me to shepherd people, even though I knew there were parts of my life that many Christians would question. But that calling came with an internal conflict. Absolutely, he said. And he goes on to say that for years, I thought I had to choose one or the other. That's his sexual preference or his religion. He says, when it didn't go away, I asked myself whether God had abandoned me or whether my understanding of God needed to grow. You know whose opinion I want on this? Do you know Pastor Gino Jennings?
I am Jewish.
I thought you were aware of that showdown between, I think it's Gino Jennings and one of our dancehall artists one time. But yeah, I would want his opinion on
Who
something
is that
like
guy
this.
then? Please tell me. I don't know who he is.
A pastor who from time to time he comes on, I believe it's local television, and he does a Sunday show, a Sunday they record his sermon and broadcast it. So yeah, stark Christian though. You walk the straight and narrow.
He preaches the Bible.
It's according to him, yeah.
Okay.
Preaches the Bible. Right. I never heard anybody put it like that before. But like I said, I like to see the fact that, churches are more accepting. I'm not trying to say that they should really deter from their teachings, but certainly you have to welcome people into the fellowship if you plan to effect any form of change. You understand? So it's good to see that people are more accepting.
We're stronger together.
Yeah. Now, you seen anything over there that is of any interest to you?
Just wanted to look at Messi cry on the newspaper one last time. God, that's so sweet to look at.
Are you going to cut it out and frame it?
You know, I might. I think I might commission my artist to do a painting of it. Big up Gold Fitch. Goldfich. She's my artist. Yeah. For those of you guys who know her most famous art piece was when she painted me on the Fosco Oats box. Yes. She's very talented. I think I might commission her to do a painting of Messi crying. She did a really good one of Mbappe in his dictator suit. She's a really, really talented artist. And, if anybody's considering commissioning any art, it never cost me nothing for do it, like 110 grand I pay her, right? So I think we should support our local artists and moments that we want to keep forever in our memory and cherish them. Why not get it in a painting? Why not support your local artists and get a commission? What?
I was saying, for the persons who don't know why you were on a Fosca Oats box, Regine,
Well, if you know Claus, you must know that. Well, I made the mistake last year of shaving my beard. It was an accident, and it led to my biggest moment of hype and forward. And, I had 4 million views in 3 days. I had 500,000 comments. Not one of them was nice. Not one of them was kind. I had a live, actually. I went on live right after I shaved my beard. I had 32,000 people on that live. I never noticed so much people exist. I had 32,000 people. They weren't saying nice things to me. It taught me strength. It taught me to believe in myself. And more importantly, it taught me that embarrassment is the cost of entry. If you want to make it to the highest level, if you want the most hype and the most forward, guess what? It doesn't come with bigging up and, oh, what a cool guy. No, it comes with pain and shame and tears. You have to sacrifice. You understand? And that's what it means to get hype and forward. And yeah, it was worth it in the end. I'm here now. I get paid to talk. I get paid to represent for parties. I get paid to party. I get paid to watch football. I get paid to do the things I enjoy doing. I don't have to pay for stuff I like. I don't pay when I go to certain places. I don't pay for certain things. I have access to everybody. I represent for government entities. I'm an ambassador for schools and programs and all that stuff. And it all came from people laughing after me, right? So I think people can learn from that. Yeah. Now, what else I saw? I saw one of the worst car accidents we've ever had. On a more serious note, 7 people lost their lives in one accident. 7 people. There was an accident in Trelawney on Friday involving a coaster bus. Now, we talk a lot about the police killings, we talk a lot about the shootings and the violence, but one of the most dangerous aspects of Jamaican living, which we don't really talk about too often, is how hard it is to navigate the roads safely. Now, here is why I don't too love the what do they call them? The amnesty days, the ticket days. Here's why I don't too love them. You have people who have as much as 92 tickets and millions of dollars in road traffic fines, and they get the opportunity to operate on the road in the same careless and destructive manner that they did before. They're not really facing any punitive results, any punishment, nothing that could cause them to reflect and maybe change the way they operate. And you know how it ends up? Not just in everybody being inconvenienced, having a horrible time on the road, it ends up with innocent people losing their lives. And 7 people, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people died in a tragic, preventable accident. It's not funny. It's not laughable. It's shocking and disgraceful how we operate on the road. It's not just taxi men or coaster men, but regular Jamaican citizens. We have no regard for each other, no consideration for each other. And we have this sick, individualized culture, which I think is as a result of a certain 3-letter agency intervening in the 70s. I think it kind of comes from there, and it's perfectly personified in how we operate on the road. It's my way or no way else. And here's the results of it. 7 people lose their lives in a tragic, and I put quotes accident, but it's not an accident when you drive that way. It's not an accident. This is the result that comes from your deliberate actions. I don't like to use the word accident because it's not an accident. This is how they operate on the road. It's a deliberate action to be inconsiderate, to speed, to stop wherever you feel like, let off wherever you feel like, pick up wherever you feel like, broke the light them, broke the stop sign them. Overtake when there's no room for overtaking, when there's no space for overtaking on a blind corner. Now the part of Falmouth where they got in the accident, the part of Trelawney, a single lane, one lane going south, one lane coming south, right? The speed in which this coastal bus was traveling. I'm looking at a picture in the newspaper now of this bus. I can't fathom how fast it was traveling to create this level of wreckage.
But, sometimes the speed doesn't even matter. It's just what you're doing. Because what I gather from it was that there was a truck in the opposite lane. And what the bus did was to collide head on with the truck. So the truck is not expecting that, you would be in the same lane. When it is a single lane type of thing, it just didn't have to go like this. You know what I mean? And while I will, disagree with you in that it can be, I don't find it to be a deliberate action because you don't deliberately want anyone to die. But how you drive, it's an obvious consequence.
I think it's a deliberate action. I think it's a conscious decision that they made. They just didn't think it would happen this time because it didn't happen before.
Rough. According to police, the Toyota, because that's the bus you're talking about, drifted onto the wrong side of the roadway before crashing into the truck. 5 men died at the scene while 2 others succumbed to their injury at Falmouth Public General Hospital. Another man remained hospitalized in serious condition. The surviving driver tested negative for alcohol. And of course, they're investigating the crash. Now, I always say this in a class, and people sometimes think me a joke or, whatever it is that they think. If you are not ready in the mornings to be on the road, if you're still tired, if you are leaving, right, from one part of the island going to another part of the island and you are tired, stop, park, pull over. Once I was extremely tired. I'm going to pull over. I'm going to say, all right, I'll look for 5 minutes and then I go again. 5 minutes, I'm refreshed and ready to go.
It's happened at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but you don't know what it is that they're doing, throughout the night. If they're not ready to go as yet, if tired still in your eye, stop the vehicle.
It's happened at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's not tired. He was overtaking somebody and crashed headfirst into a truck.
I see. Well, as the reports say, they drifted to one side of the road. So I am thinking that, okay, it's not a deliberate overtake. And it may just be, I don't know, maybe negligence or something like that. It's quite unfortunate, man, and it really didn't have to go like this. Quite unfortunate. And what I'm reading is that is the mother's reaction. And anybody who's reading that, if you're not, heartbroken, I think you have no heart. Unfortunate. Well, the vice chairman of the National Road Safety Council is saying that while summer traditionally records an increase in road deaths because more people are traveling, that alone does not explain the sharp rise in fatalities. It goes on to say we did fairly well from January through to May, and then just an explosion in June and July. That is the vice chairman of the National Road Safety Council. Always in the summer, we have to tell people, you have to be careful. You have to be a little bit more careful, especially when people are going to parties and doing one bag of things. Sometimes you work all night and then, you have to go home in the morning, or you work all morning and going home in the late evening and you're tired. Stop when you are tired, please. As best as we can to avoid these fatalities, try, do your part, yeah?
I mean, it's one of the few times I'm left speechless because it's something that just happens over and over and over and over every day. And driving on the road in Jamaica shouldn't be this dangerous. You shouldn't have to be looking over your shoulder and in every mirror to see if a taxi man wants to come and destroy your life and kill you and your family. You shouldn't have to be wondering if that Prado is going to stop or not, where it's speeding relentlessly down the wrong way to come overtake a line of people. You shouldn't have to wonder if you're going to make it home today. Shouldn't have to wonder. And driving on the road in Jamaica it's emblematic of Jamaican life. With that being said, we have a commercial break.